Capricorn. This is a general reading for the sign of Capricorn. If you have Capricorn anywhere in your birth chart, this is your reading. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. You know what is for you and what is not for you. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, wow, what some beautiful cards coming out for you this week. Oh my gosh, big, beautiful, wonderful changes coming for you. Capricorn, this February 10th brings in the Chinese New Year of the year of the wooden dragon. This year's energy will be one that will guide us towards growth, progress, and abundance. And I see that right here in that first row for you, Capricorn. The Chinese New Year celebration lasts on an average about 8 days according to province. And during the New Year celebration, there are several taboos that are recommended to be avoided during the New Year celebration. And by avoiding some of these taboos, it is said to help set the pace or help set the energy for the rest of the year. One of the taboos includes not saying negative words, not using words with negative connotations. They are really forbidden in some areas. Words like sick, broke, death, kill, words that really carry a negative energy. By not using these words, we don't jinx ourselves or to the misfortunes that are associated with those words. And before we get to the foundation, the basis of this reading, let's do these intuition cards, these ESP cards. If this is your first time tuning in, what we've been doing is we have really been practicing how to tap into, how to use our intuition by doing a quick shuffle of these cards, and then I'll have a quick look at that. Oh, I love that card. This card reinforces the rest of your reading, but what we'll do is I'll send that image to you. I'll leave that card right here on the table, and at the end of this reading, I'll reveal the card to see if we were able to connect or you were able to tap into your intuition. Thank you, Spirit. Messages for the sign of Capricorn. And the basis of this reading is the quiet transition, the river Styx, the starting over, the new beginnings, and not making a big to-do or a big announcement about this new beginning. It's just moving forward and living a life that is genuine to us, and putting aside the thoughts and opinions of others. And that is driven by the Three of Pentacles. Yes, putting aside the thoughts and opinions of others and choosing to live a life that is genuine to ourselves. And let's see how that plays into the rest of your reading. And we start off with wonderful star card. The star card is also known as the Aquarius card in the tarot, but I don't necessarily believe that this means that you are dealing with an Aquarius, more of dealing with a humanitarian, or really wanting or becoming in your actions more of a humanitarian and working towards the greater good of the whole of the community, the whole of the planet. Moving forward with a greater appreciation that life in itself is precious, and we were called here, you were called here to this place and time to serve the greater good. And that you, by serving the greater good, you will find the financial reward. You will find the tangible reward. And the gift, and I love that we see this Ace of Wands. The wands are wood. The strength of the wood dragon this year for you, Capricorn. The strength of the energy of the wood dragon, for growth, progress, and abundance, is setting the stage. This year is setting the stage for you. Situations, people, opportunity, many opportunities will arise for you this year that set the stage for financial success from multiple sources of income. The sources of income come from wanting to or moving towards the greater good of family, the greater good of home, the greater good of community, the greater good of the world. I love that you're creating this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. And the life that you are creating is bringing forth the greater good. And that strength is coming from within you, Capricorn. That strength is coming from within you. And moving back towards, that's a quiet strength. It's the truly strong and the truly capable do not need to voice that. They do not need to be in the limelight. They do not need to have the attention. They do not need to have the recognition. They just do what they are meant to do. They are doing what they are sent to do. Wow, that is beautiful. That is beautiful for you, Capricorn. And then it's followed by this wonderful strength card. You know, the strength card, if we look closer at that strength card, we can see they are putting their hand in the lion's mouth. And they're doing it with grace. And they are not doing it. There's no crowd there watching them. they are just doing that. They are coming from a place, it's like, look what I can do. This is what I can do, and I'm going to do it. That is where they're coming from. And that is where the growth, the strength, the abundance comes from. It comes from within. And it comes from doing things that are pleasing to ourselves. And not necessarily pleasing to others. And then we have this conflict. But this is practice. This is not a real conflict. This is a practicing of conflict. And I see that you are wanting to break free from traditions and from values, or you're questioning traditions and values. Traditions and values that maybe once held true for you are not holding true any longer. And by your questioning, or your evolving from that place of old tradition and values, and growing and changing, is a cause for celebration, is a cause for joy, is a cause for happiness. And when we do the things, when we begin to change our traditions, our values, our morals, when they begin to change, when they begin to shift, when that transition starts, it can be uncomfortable. But this uncomfortable, I think, is a good uncomfortable for you. It's almost like it's pleasant, and it's going to take you a little bit to get used to things being different, get used to things being pleasant on this level or in this form. And as we're working through that uncomfortableness, or as we're working through that unpleasantness, it's important that we stay true to our own self. To thy own self be true. And as we become more comfortable in this new source of peace, this new source of happiness, this new source of being true to ourselves, the universe, God, Source, is going to be bringing in new people and new situations that are matching this new level of energy that you are producing. And here we see the student of life, the student of time, and justice, the King of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. Capricorn, in order to receive, we must quiet our minds. We must practice mindfulness. And mindfulness is different from meditation. Mindfulness focuses in, or we can practice mindfulness by focusing in on one of our senses. And by focusing in on one of our senses, we can stay present, or we become more present in the moment, in this current moment. And when we are truly in this moment, that is when we are in a state of mindfulness. A good way to practice that mindfulness is, let's start maybe by focusing in on our sense of smell. Take a really deep breath in. And what is it that we smell? And how does that smell of our environment affect us? Was that a warm inhale breath, or was the air cool as it was moving through your nostrils? Just focus on that sense and be present in the moment. That is how we bring mindfulness and practice that quietness of our mind. And before we wrap up this reading, we will look and we will reveal our, yes, were you able to pick the star card? I love that we received this star card, and that just reinforces the humanitarian and moving forward, and the wealth and abundance and everything you seek will come from working towards the greater good. If you were able to select that star card, I'm so happy that you were able to connect with your intuition. If not, we'll practice again next week. It's not about perfection, it's about practice. If you were unable to connect this week, that's okay. Tune in next week, and just to adjust a little bit here or a little bit there in order to tune into your mindfulness. And that is the message that I have for the sign of Capricorn. Thank you, Capricorn. You have a blessed week.